Si watu huko. Sisi soko huko.
Pigia domi. Angalia hiyo kamera kwa juu.
Kwani ni hatari mrembo bwana.
Ambia mwita twende bana.
Mwita vuka kidogo. Vuka kidogo mwita. Sisi tunazunguka naye.
Acha nimwambie.
Anazunguka naye.
Ama Luso tashuka.
Ndio.
Hapo kwa CDF.
Ndio pande kwa CDF.
Pale penye ndo wapande hiyo lori yao.
Ndio ndio bwana.
No.
Kila mtu tazunguka naye. Hoja bawa hii ni nia tu.
Ama niambie ile mkupo saa hapo.
Naomba hii escort sisi nyuma hapo akuje kidogo tu mbele. Ndio tupate hiyo moto kidia bicycle.
Ndio mazo.
Dramatize hiyo. Ndio jamaa aende.
Hivi kidogo.
Yaani jamaa amekataa kusonga.
Line
It is part of the motor.
nataka ni ile line straight.
Kuna watu ni waje kazi. Baya. Hello boss. Itaalamu.
nchi yetu,
wanyama pori
zetu za Kenya
na miundo msingi.
Moja,
wageni huwao, mbili, karibu Mheshimiwa Rais wa sherehe ya leo. Wapi shangwe na vigelegele wananchi, peperusha bendera walio kwenye jukwaa mkono wa kulia. Karibisha rais kwa shangwe na vigelegele. Moja, nambari 1. Wapi makofi?
Kenya taifa letu, Kenya nchi yetu, Kenya taifa letu, Kenya nchi yetu.
Asante Maroon Commandos, niombe kwa heshima wananchi.
Jamhuri Day. My name is Captain Otos and I have just landed. Kuna vitu ambazo zinatufanyanga tunakuwa uniquely Kenyan. Unasikia, unaona huyo ni Mkenya. Mkenya ni mganga, Mkenya ni nabii, Mkenya ni mtu ambaye anaweza akaangalia juu aseme hii jua ni ya mvua. Mkenya ni mtu ambaye anakuona umekaa chini peke yako, alafu anakuja na kukuuliza, hiyo kitiko kando yako iko na mtu. Mkenya ni mtu ambaye ukimwambia unatarajia watalii, tayari ameshajijasia kwa kichwa yake watalii ni nani.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just landed. This is flight 254. Welcome to Nairobi.
Wow! Nairobi sinakaa supu. Check hiyo weather.
Finally we have landed.
Hawa ndio wanatu receive. Hata ni mwana jina yangu.
Oh wait, the dancers, Amelia.
Oya, mimi ndio Sharon. Kwani amnioni? Ai, kwani ama dancers wako cold aje?
Guys, kwani nini happen?
To Nairobi, Kenya. Make some noise for Elisha Toto and Dola Kamari.
Kenya inaendelezwa na wazalendo. Kenya inaendelezwa na wazalendo.
Kana watu we pamoja nyitiwa wangere Kenya. Tuwe kitu kimoja tuwachuka bila tuwachu chochezi, tuwachu binafsi, tungane kama wa Kenya, tupeleke Kenya mbele.
Kenya inaendelezwa na wazalendo. Kenya inaendelezwa na wazalendo.
Tapinyu waka wona sugi eker maroma e Kenya.
Gai William Ruto, rais wetu mpendwa. Tangu uongozi wako tumeona mazao, viwanda zinajengwa, chakula kwa taifa, nyumba na makao kwa bei nafuu, stima tunapata we. Ndio maana sisi twaomba Mungu akulinde, Nyasaye akulinde, Ngai akulinde, Ogongo Nyangalaga akulinde. Kenya dala, Kenya pacho, Kenya nyumbani. President wetu mpendwa, tunakupenda sana. Unafanya kazi nzuri kujenga taifa letu la Kenya. Yes.
Guided by His Excellency the President's vision, today we reintroduce Kenya to the world through a tourism manifesto anchored in magical Kenya, the origin of wonder.
Jameni wananchi, nchi yetu ya Kenya ni fire si fire. Jameni wananchi, rais wetu William Ruto ni fire si fire. Kwa mara ya mwisho, wananchi wa Kenya ni fire si fire. This generation will never pay fully the sacrifice and the debt of those who paid the ultimate price and sacrifice for the independence of our country. Mr. President, fellow Kenyans, we will also not pay fully the debt imposed on us by those who fought for the expansion of the civil and political liberties that we enjoy today. The last thing I want to say, Mr. President, before I invite a few guests to say hi in 1 minute, is to say, as we move into the future of our country, building on the foundation of those who fought for the freedom and liberty of our country, building on the hard work of those who fought for the expansion of civil and political liberties that we enjoy today. We look forward, under your leadership, Mr. President, to firm up on that foundation and that hard work and expand on the empowerment and the socio-economic liberty for the people of Kenya. And therefore, going into the future, we will push under your leadership for a country where all its citizens do not just enjoy the freedom of expression and the freedom of the media, but they also enjoy freedom from hunger, freedom from sickness, and freedom from all the dangers that threaten human survival, especially poverty and the other economic perils that endanger our sustainability and our survival.
Kilomita chache kutoka hapa tuliposimama leo katika bustani la Uhuru palikuwa kambi ya wakoloni. Mheshimiwa Rais, wengi walitoa uhai wao hapo, maelfu wengine waliteseka katika kambi mbalimbali kote nchini. Hii ndio ilikuwa gharama ya ukombozi wetu kama taifa. Tunaweza anza wapi kulipa deni hii kwa wale waliotangulia, ila kwa kuwakumbuka sio tu kwa mafanikio yao pekee, bali pia kwa maadili yao. Miongoni wa mashujaa wa Nairobi alikuwa ni Tom Mboya. Tom Mboya alisimama imara katika msimamo wake hata ilipokuwa haipendwi au ilipokuwa sio rahisi. Alikuwa mwenye kujenga katika ukosoaji wake na hakuchoka kamwe, hakuchoka kwa uzalendo wake. Mimi kama mtu ambaye aliyatumia maisha yangu yote katika utumishi wa umma, nakiri na kusema ya kwamba kiwango hicho alichoweka ni kigumu kukifikia. Kiongozi mwingine ambao ni shujaa wa Nairobi alikuwa ni Raila Amolo Odinga. Baba Raila Amolo Odinga, sisi kama watu wa Nairobi tunamenzi. Ndiye alikuwa mbunge ambaye amehudumu kwa muda mrefu, na hii kwa sisi sote ndio siku ya Jamhuri ya kwanza bila baba wetu. Tunaomba ya kwamba Mungu azidi kumlaza pema, na ile ambayo tunaweza fanya ni kuiga mfano ambayo alituachia. Tunawakumbuka hawa mashujaa wetu na kuwaenzi ili kuhifadhi matendo yao na kuyapitisha kwa watoto wetu kwa ajili ya kesho. Pili, tunawakumbuka ili kuwaiga, tukijifunza kutoka kwa mafanikio yao na pia kwa makosa yao, ili kwa wakati ufaao mafanikio yetu kama Wakenya yaweze kulinganishwa na yao. Tatu, ni lazima tukamilishe kazi walioweka misingi. Wao waliweka msingi, jukumu letu ni kujenga jengo ambalo linastahili heshima ambayo wametuachia. Hatutishwi na wajibu. Hatutishwi na wajibu ambao tumeachiwa kama viongozi, kwa sababu tunajua na tunaifanya kwa imani na matumaini, tukiyakumbuka maneno ya Wafilipi 1:6 ya kwamba yeye alianzisha kazi njema ndani yenu ataikamilisha. He who began a good work will be faithful to complete it. Mheshimiwa Rais na viongozi, je, hatujaona tayari mabadiliko katika maisha yetu? Kuanzia wakati ambapo tulipata jamhuri hii, hata mimi kusimama hapa ni mfano, kwa sababu jiji hili miaka hiyo hata hakuwa na diwani mmoja Mwafrika, lakini sasa jiji linaongozwa na gavana ambaye amechaguliwa moja kwa moja na wananchi. the fact that we can self-determine must never be taken for granted as a republic. Kauli mbiu ya mwaka huu inaunganisha dhana hizi. Dhana ambayo ilikuwa Raila Amolo Odinga na Tom Mboya, which was their internationalism. It was also the nature in which they were not tribal, they were not tied into a cocoon of their community or of their tribe, but they thought in a very modern way, in a very contemporary fashion, and that goes hand in hand with what our theme is today. Kauli mbiu ya mwaka huu inaunganisha busara hizo mbili. Mheshimiwa Rais, sitaki kusema mengi ila pia ni kukushukuru kwa sababu kwa muda huu, kwa mwaka ambao umepita, tumeona kwamba umetushikilia kama makaunti na pia Nairobi. Pamoja na wewe tumeweza kufanya kazi nyingi, kujenga mabarabara, watu wetu wanaziona zinaendelea katika maeneo yote ya jiji la Nairobi. Tunakushukuru na tunajua kwa mwaka ambao unakuja tutaweza kufanya kazi nyingi zaidi. Jameni wa Kenya, tumpigie rais wetu makofi. Tunajua kwamba mwaka ujao sherehe hii itafanywa katika uwanja mpya wa Talanta ambayo unaendelea kule Lang'ata Road. Sijui kama utatukubali. Na sisi kama watu wa Nairobi tunakuomba uwanja huo uite Raila Odinga International Stadium ili kumkumbuka baba wetu ambaye alituacha. Au sio? Tunakubalia watu wa Nairobi? Tunakubalia. Rais, umeona sauti ya wananchi, na sauti ya wananchi ni sauti ya Mungu.
Your Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I bring you warm greetings from your brother, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda. He was unable to come because Uganda is undergoing an electoral process. He, however, sent me to represent him. I am the Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda. I've been given 1 minute. Let me hand over the message to you, Your Excellency, on behalf of the President and the people of Uganda. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Makofi tafadhali, makofi. Thank you very much.
On behalf of His Excellency, the General Major Evariste Ndayishimiye, President of the Republic of Burundi, that I have the honor to present today to other commitments, and on behalf of the people of the Republic of Burundi, allow me express excellencies, extend my great congratulations to the government and the people of the Republic of Kenya on this remarkable occasion. This event is very important as it represents values that a nation together, freedom, dignity, and the right to shape one's own destiny. On this special day, it is my great pleasure to wish you peace, prosperity, and friendship continue to grow stronger. Once again, congratulations on Independence Day. May the spirit freedom keep us united and strong always. Happy Jamhuri Day. Thank you. Congratulations again.
Wananchi wa Nairobi hoye! Kanairo hoye! Wakenya hoye! Jamhuri hoye!
I bring you greetings from the people of Ghana, and to say that on this day, your 62nd Jamhuri Day, the people of Ghana are in solidarity with their brothers and sisters in Kenya. On this day, we pay respect to the memory of our forebears who fought for our freedom, and we do not take their sacrifice for granted. The friendship between our independence leaders, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta and Kwame Nkrumah, has become an enduring flame that has continued to bind our two countries together. Our forebears won us political independence. It is the responsibility of our current generation of African leadership to win economic independence and prosperity for our people. Africa faces many challenges, including a global order that is rigged against it. We face systems that make us suppliers of unprocessed raw materials and importers of finished products. The time has come for us to add value to Africa's exports. The time has come for us to claim a fairer share of our natural resource endowment. The time has come for us to provide transparent and accountable leadership. The time has come for us to unleash the creativity and energies of our young people. We must increase trade amongst ourselves, and so we commend the protocol on the African Continental Free Trade Area. We must show Pan-African solidarity with all members of the African diaspora, and that's why I wish to express the sincerest appreciation of the people of Ghana to the people of Kenya for your timely intervention in Haiti to bring relief to the long-suffering people of Haiti. Ghana also, in the spirit of Pan-African solidarity, is sending troops from our 48th Engineers Regiment to help Jamaica in its rebuilding efforts after the devastating Hurricane Melissa. Kenya continues to be a respected member of the African Union and other international bodies. And so Ghana wishes Kenya well on this very auspicious occasion. And finally, before I resume my seat, accept my personal condolence and the sympathy of all Ghanaians on the passing of a great statesman, Mzee Raila Odinga. May God grant him peaceful rest. Long live Kenya, long live Africa, long live Kenya-Ghana relations. Asante sana.
Mimi kuna mambo mengi tunafanya katika mji huu wa Nairobi. Kuna mambo tumekubaliana na county government ya Nairobi. Tunajenga zile barabara ambazo zilikuwa zimekwama hapa Nairobi. Tumekubaliana ya kwamba hizo barabara tumerudisha contractors wote ambao walikuwa pale barabarani. Na sasa barabara zinaendelea kilomita 60 hapa Nairobi. Kwa mfano barabara ya Muhuri kule Dagoretti South, barabara ya Mama Wahu kule Dagoretti South, bypass ya Mihango Link kule Embakasi East, Umoja 1 SDA Road kule Embakasi West, Pindigwa Road kule Roysambu na Road C Embakasi South. Pia mumeona pale Valley Road, ile barabara ilikuwa imekwama pale, tumeleta contractor anaendelea na kazi. Ile barabara ya Ngong Road pia inaendelea, kazi inaendelea pale. Barabara ya Haile Selassie vile vile inaendelea. Na ningependa kutangaza ya kwamba kwa sababu barabara ya expressway imekamilika na wananchi wanatumia pale juu. Barabara ya chini iko na matatizo, na ndio sababu kuanzia hii Disemba mukienda Krismasi, tutajenga upya barabara kutoka kule JKIA kupitia hapa mpaka kule ABC, na tuifanyie beautification ndio Nairobi ionekane kama city ya taifa letu la Kenya. Vile vile mimi ninajua ya kwamba kuna wananchi wengi nje ya Nairobi lakini wanafanya kazi na biashara hapa Nairobi. Wananchi wengi wanaishi Kiserian, wanaishi Rongai, wanaishi Ngong, na kuna msongamano mkubwa sana wa wananchi wakikuja asubuhi na kurudi nyumbani jioni. Ningependa kutangaza ya kwamba mwaka ujao ile barabara kutoka Bomas of Kenya kwenda Rongai kwenda mpaka Kiserian, na barabara kutoka Bomas of Kenya kwenda Karen kwenda pale Shade Hotel, kuteremka kwenda Ngong, kwenda Bulbul na kwenda mpaka ifike kule Kiserian, tutaifanya iwe dual carriageway, ndio wananchi wa pale wanaweze kutembea kwa njia rahisi. Najua pia ya kwamba wananchi wengi wanaishi kule Thika, na sasa barabara ya Thika Road pia imejaa na kuna msongamano mkubwa sana wa magari katika barabara yetu ya Thika Road. Ningependa pia kutangaza ya kwamba mwaka ujao vile tuko na expressway kutoka JKIA, pia tutajenga expressway kutoka Thika mpaka ifike hapa Museum Hill, ndio wananchi wale wanateseka na mambo ya jam tuweze kuondoa jam ya sehemu hiyo. Mimi nataka niwapongeze askari wetu ambao walikwenda kule Haiti na mumewaona hapa, tuwapigie makofi jameni. Wamerudi nyumbani na heshima kubwa sana kwa taifa letu la Kenya. And I want to thank them profoundly for their courage, professionalism and selfless service to our nation and to the world, and for flying our flag high with honor and dignity. Nataka niwashukuru wasanii ambao wametuimbia hapa. Asanteni sana kwa kazi yenu. Kolabo ya Iani, Femi One na Trio Mio wametuambia tunaweza. Tunaweza hatuwezi? Tunaweza hatuwezi? Tunaweza sio? Guardian Angel pia ametueleza kwamba wananchi wote na viongozi wote tuungane pamoja tujenge taifa letu la Kenya. Inawezekana haiwezekani? Raila devoted his life to the pursuit of freedom, justice and peaceful coexistence. His courage, resilience and unwavering belief in the power of the people shaped defining chapters of our national story and inspired generations to believe that change is possible. I now respectfully urge all of us to join me in observing a 1 minute of silence in honor and remembrance of the Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga and honor his sacrifice, service and enduring legacy. Tafadhali nawaomba tusimame kwa dakika moja kwa heshima ya kiongozi wetu Raila Amolo Odinga. Asanteni sana. Asanteni sana. May his spirit continue to guide our nation forward. His resolve, as well as the resolve of our forefathers, gave us the 2010 Constitution, a charter that restored the sovereignty of the people, restrained imperial power, entrenched rights, and devolved government and authority to the grassroots. But it promised something even greater. It guaranteed economic and social justice. It declared that health, housing, food, water, education, and social security were not favors. They were fundamental rights. It was a bold promise. It was a moral imperative. It was the unfinished dream of both the independence and subsequent generations. Yet today, with honesty and humility, we must admit that this promise remains incomplete. Yes, progress has been made, but the deeper promise, a Kenya where every citizen lives with dignity and shared prosperity, remains unfulfilled. For too long, stagnation has returned in cycles. Negativity has been normalized, and too many have been asked to make peace with mediocrity. That is why, before the last election, we had already realized that although we had achieved political independence and our constitution expanded our democratic human rights and the rule of law, we still had not fully consolidated our nation. 3 years ago, education was in distress. Classrooms were overcrowded. Many universities were technically insolvent, and teachers were overwhelmed. Today, we have hired 76,000 teachers, and by next month, a total of 100,000 teachers, the largest recruitment of teachers in Kenya's history. We have built 23,000 new classrooms, and 1,600 laboratories are under construction across the nation. Importantly, through the student-centered funding model, we placed the learner at the heart of our reforms. For the first time in our history, scholarships and loans now follow need and merit, ensuring that every deserving student has a chance and a just and equal opportunity to pursue their dreams. Nearly 500,000 students have already benefited from this funding model. Students who, under previous systems, would have been excluded by policies that failed to recognize them. This reform has lifted the financial burden from families and enabled students to choose courses that align with their talents, with their aspirations, and with the needs of our nation. Our healthcare, we have another irrevocable decision that no Kenyan should be too poor to live. For decades, universal healthcare was spoken of, but in our time, it is being actualized. We engaged 110,000 community health promoters who are now reaching millions who were once excluded, forgotten, and without access to health care. CHPs have already visited over 9 million households, screening millions of Kenyans for various ailments, including diabetes and hypertension. At the same time, we built a unified health information system that now gives us full visibility of our health facilities, patients, their progress, enabling us to track healthcare delivery in real time. Today, over 28 million Kenyans are registered under the Social Health Authority, up from 8 million under the old system. That means 19 million Kenyans who were once forgotten are now in the healthcare equation. Among them are 2.3 million vulnerable Kenyans, orphans, widows, and the elderly, whose healthcare is now fully paid by the government of Kenya. Healthcare was never meant to be a privilege. It is a constitutional right. And with the realization of this right, we are ready to work with all Kenyans into the next chapter of economic freedom. Today, fellow citizens, history turns its gaze upon us and asks, faced with the challenges of our time, have we stepped up as they did? When he took the oath of office, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta warned us that independence would mean nothing if it did not improve the daily lives of ordinary citizens. Tom Mboya reminded the nation that the greatest struggle, and indeed the harder struggle, was not political independence alone, but development itself, the economic empowerment of our people, and the unlocking of their full potential. They stood and they understood that freedom was only the beginning, that the deeper battle would be against poverty that chains potential, against disease that steals opportunity, and against ignorance that dims human possibility. And so today, we are gathered to mark Jamhuri Day. We do more than remember history. We honor the architects of our nation for giving us the first great watershed period in our nation building, political independence. Just as the first generation rejected colonial domination and set out to confront the new enemies of poverty, disease, and ignorance in all their forms, they discovered that independence did not amount to freedom in its full and fullest sense. Along independent Kenya's history, power became centralized, dissent was silenced, competition was crushed, fear replaced hope. Once again, however, Kenyans rose, and from their struggle emerged the agitation for democracy, human rights, and the rule of law. In the darkest days when it was dangerous to speak, brave Kenyans spoke. When it was illegal to organize, courageous Kenyans organized. Students, clergy, lawyers, journalists, workers, and politicians stood firm against detention, against torture, against exile, and even death, so that Kenya could break and breathe again. This generation of courage produced towering figures whose sacrifice expanded the democratic space we enjoy today. Foremost among them was the late Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, a stalwart of our country's democratic journey, who left us just under 2 months ago. Raila devoted his life to the pursuit of freedom, justice, and peaceful coexistence. His courage, resilience, and unwavering belief in the power of the people shaped defining chapters of our national story and inspired generations to believe that change is possible. Your Excellencies, distinguished friends, fellow citizens, I have always observed this day with two emotions held in tension: deep gratitude to our forefathers and a restless question for ourselves. Have we been faithful stewards of the freedom they won, and have we truly advanced the nation they left in our hands? I shall return to these questions later. But first, today we gather not just to mark a date on the calendar, but to honor a legacy written in sacrifice, courage, and unbreakable resolve. A legacy forged by men and women who stared imperial power in the face and declared with unshakable conviction that Kenya would be free. Their struggle planted our republic on the firm foundation of liberty, unity, and democracy. They gave us more than a flag. They gave us a future. 62 years ago, the brave architects of our nation placed in our hands the priceless gift of political independence. On this very day, 62 years ago, our forefathers lowered the Union Jack and raised the flag of our nation. But that victory was not given easily. It was bought at an immense cost. The road to our nationhood was carved by the unbreakable spirit of our freedom fighters, men and women who refused to bow to the humiliation of colonial rule. From villages to towns, from farms to factories, to classrooms and marketplaces, Kenyans from all walks of life rose as one, declaring that our humanity would not be diminished, delayed, or denied. And when brute force was unleashed against them, their determination outlasted it. Thousands paid the ultimate price. Many more were detained. Whole communities were uprooted. Punishment, pain, exile, and prison became the tools of repression. But what no empire could crush was their determination, resolve, and the unity of purpose. Across ethnicities, across regions, across class and creed, they became a force history itself could neither silence nor stop. Their sacrifice opened the path to self-rule. Their courage delivered the independence we celebrate today. And it is upon their shoulders that our republic stands strong. The architects of our nation overcame the trials of their time. While our challenges are different, their lesson is eternal. They rose to the dictates of their moment. It was not easy, but it was necessary. And because they did it, we are here today. First, history teaches us that no nation ever prospered on poor roads, inefficient ports, and congested airports. Modern transport and logistics drive productivity, reduce the cost of doing business, and creates trade, business, and innovation and investment hubs. Our 10-year roadmap on road, rail, ports, and airports, and oil pipeline infrastructure includes the expansion of strategic highways connecting our major cities, industrial zones, markets, border points, and agricultural belts to move people, goods, and services faster, safer, and more affordably. We have mapped out 2,500 kilometers of highway for dualing and 28,000 kilometers of road across the Republic for tarmacking. With this, we are stitching our country together, linking towns to cities, farms to factories, and Kenya to the wider region. Last week, fellow citizens, we moved from promise to action when we officially launched the construction of the Nairobi-Nakuru-Mau Summit Road and the Nairobi-Mai-Mahiu-Naivasha Road, an investment of over 180 billion in a modern 223-kilometer multi-lane dual carriageway delivered through a public-private partnership model. In February 2026, just in 3 months from now, we will begin extending the standard gauge railway from Naivasha to Kisumu and Malaba. And later in the year, extend the oil pipeline from Eldoret to Uganda, opening a new transport corridor with our neighbors and with the continent. At the same time, we will modernize Jomo Kenyatta International Airport and several other airports to enhance connectivity and ease the movement of people, goods, and services. The port of Mombasa and Lamu are also on course for modernization and commercialization, undertaken through innovative private-public partnerships that include long-term concessioneering. Charging forward, our infrastructure expansion will provide the foundational support for a strong and resilient economy that will drive transformative development for all of us. Number two, fellow citizens, we must decisively shift our economy from dependence on imports to becoming a net exporter of agricultural products, manufactured goods, and value-added commodities. Kenya today spends nearly 500 billion shillings every year importing agricultural products. While we have reduced imports of maize, sugar, edible oil, rice, our progress is still constrained by the limitations of rain-fed agriculture. We can no longer leave the country's food security to the uncertainties of rainfall, especially in the context of climate change. To feed our people and produce surplus for export, large-scale modern irrigation is the only viable pathway forward. We have mapped out 50 mega dams, 200 mini dams, and over 1,000 macro dams across all our 47 counties, especially in our arid and semi-arid areas, which have expansive, fertile, and arable land currently not under production because of lack of water. With this plan, an additional 2.5 million acres of land will be brought under agricultural productivity through extensive water harvesting, water storage, and advanced irrigation technologies. This is not only about food and water security. It is a nation-shaping investment. These two milestones, great as they were, had over time been undermined by the paradox of the marginalization of the majority. We saw clearly a system in which a few rose to the top of the pyramid, while millions at the base struggled to survive, with education outcomes compromised, healthcare beyond reach, access to affordable credit denied, housing unattainable, and farmers abandoned while our youth were locked out. That is the reason we introduced the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, to bring the marginalized majority back into the heart of our nation, to ensure that no one is left behind, and to begin the work of social engineering necessary to pursue the broader dream of economic freedom. We had to begin where marginalization and exclusion had been greatest, that is at the bottom. And so, over the last 3 years, we have made bold choices. They have delivered results that are unprecedented, unmistakable, and consequential. For years, we spoke of agriculture as the bedrock of our economy and farmers as our pillars. But the truth is, we did not truly know them, and neither did we truly prioritize them. Today we do. For the first time in our history, over 7.2 million farmers have been brought into the single national digital database. We now know who they are, where they are, what they grow, and what they need. And with that knowledge came the power, not for brokers, not for cartels, but for the farmer. This digital platform became and is the backbone of targeted support, including subsidized inputs, affordable credit, and modern extension services reaching real farmers directly. We lowered the cost of production. We brought the price of fertilizer down, and in so doing, we restored profitability to the smallholder farmer who produces over 70% of our food. Fellow citizens, the results are undeniable. Maize production is up. Prices of flour is down. The tea sector is rising. Coffee is rebounding. Dairy is expanding. And the sugar industry has been reformed. By strengthening value chains, cooperatives, irrigation, and processing, we have built systems that work for our agricultural sector. And now, with millions of farmers no longer forgotten, we are ready to walk with them to the next chapter of economic freedom. Mimi nachukua nafasi hii kuwatakia Krismasi njema yenye baraka na mwaka mpya wa 2026 wenye mafanikio makubwa sana. Asanteni na watakia heri. Mungu awabariki. Thank you very much and God bless you. Hii uwanja ya Nyayo Stadium, nyinyi mnajua yale maneno tulifanya kule Kasarani. Tuliweka paa ama uvuli ili wananchi wanapokuwa hapa wasipigwe na jua. Mimi nataka niwatangazie ya kwamba kuanzia Januari hii Nyayo Stadium vile vile tutaweka canopy. Hii ni mara ya mwisho wananchi kuwa hapa wakipigwa na jua. Tukisonga mbele, hii kiwanja pia itakuwa na kivuli. Vile vile tunakamilisha ile kiwanja ya talanta pale Jamhuri. Munajua kazi kubwa ambayo imefanyika pale. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Na nimesikia yale gavana wa Nairobi amesema ya kwamba ile uwanja wa talanta ipatiwe jina gani? Ati mumesema ipatiwe jina gani? Mumesema ipatiwe jina la Raila Amolo Odinga International Stadium. Nimewasikiza na tukikamilisha tutafanya hivyo.